Hello, hello, everybody. We're back here today. We're playing some more Red, White, Death and Taxes, Red and Taxes, whatever you want to call it, in Legacy. Still toying with this archetype a little bit. Not going to put it down quite as fast as I put down Blue-White. Oh, whoops, I haven't muted myself. There we go. But anyway, I dropped Blue-White pretty fast because there were definitely some very easily identifiable glaring problems. And although these past, I think, have I streamed this twice? 3 times maybe? I haven't had like the best results. I guess I probably streamed it 3 times, right? I streamed the challenge, and then I streamed on Wednesday, and then today I think there was a third time. There's some third time when I 3-2'd. I went like 3-3 in the challenge, a 3-2 to league, and then 2-3 to league. Obviously, not great results, but I've just been playing a ton of matchups where I've really felt like the red splash puts me more in games than not having the red splash in my deck would. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is me misidentifying how these matchups go and how they work and the tools that we get with a splash like this. But I think the cards that I've been casting have felt powerful enough that it's worth continuing to explore, at least for a little bit. Definitely will play some more just mono white stuff in the future, but I've been enjoying messing around with these red cards. This has been fun to cast Power Blast on the Okos and Echo the Aeons and stuff like that. So we're going to keep it up at least for the last stream here on this week. Anyway, let's just jump right in. Play some red-white taxes. Why does this say connecting to chat? Am I not connected to chat? Can I refresh this? Can I see chat in some other fashion? I can if I just go to my stream manager. No one said anything yet, but maybe I need to reboot. I don't know. I actually want to refresh this chat window. Chat settings. Let's just clear chat. This doesn't help me. Stream is on, yeah, I don't see it. I have a little, like, chat window right here, and it says connecting to chat, and I can't see it. I have chat over here, which I guess I'm just going to pop out and move over for now until I figure out what the problem is. Oh, nope. What's happening? Come on, chat. Pop out. There we go. Alright, come on. Other chat window. Come with me. The new chat window. Place the old one for now. I don't know why it's loading like that. But also all the messages disappeared, so say something in chat if it's actually not. Oh, there we go. No one likes that chat window. Yeah, this chat window's a piece of shit. Anyway, hand is medium, a little land heavy. Probably good enough. Turn through Thalia, we have interaction. Creature decks, although there just have been less and less creature decks that I've been playing against going on right now. Plow has just looked less and less impressive as we just like play against more like Astrolabes and stuff. A keepable 7. Yeah, this is definitely the lower end of a keepable 7. We have no Vial. We'll be fine. We'll top deck at Aether Pile. It's not bad. What's our opponent doing? Again, plays to conceal information. I mean, it's probably just also the best thing to lead on here. We don't know if my opponent they probably don't have Wastelands based on Basic Island, but we still have to decide whether or not we're like fetching basics or fetching a plateau or something. So, and then obviously when we go Rashad and Port Thalia next turn, if we have a Arid Mesa on turn 1, it's a little bit more suspicious. Actually seeing that much actually. Yeah, I mean obviously every player's individual experience is going to be extremely anecdotal to what what the actual meta looks like. I haven't played against a shit ton of blue piles, but obviously that's like I haven't played against Delver in like 3 leagues in a challenge, which is nuts, and obviously not related to at all to what the meta actually looks like. Especially with my Wednesday stream, Jesus, there was some nonsense we played against on Wednesday. Force of Will. Oh, pitching Omniscience. Okay, so we're dying next turn. I see how it goes. They only have 3 cards in hand, so maybe we're not dying next turn. We can hope at least. The 3 cards in hand are obviously... plus the card that they're going to draw, land, show, and tell, Omniscience, and Emrakul or something. I just always assume that the worst thing possible is going to happen to me. Yep. Alright, so if it's just... so it's like a Grizzlebrand, we want... what? We're probably going to die if it's Grizzlebrand, unless we draw Caracas. If it's an Emrakul, we want to... we can't recruit anything that beats an Emrakul, right? Oh, we can recruit a Crater Maker. If it's an Emrakul. And if it's Omniscience, we just fucking die, so Recruiter's definitely the put in here. Oh, sure. Omniscience. Their last card. If their last card is like Emrakul, I'm gonna be very sad that it was actually just like land, show, tell, Omniscience, Emrakul. If it's just Omniscience, we can't deal with it anyway, right? If they're just putting it in and like trying to find the fatty later, then we want to like get Lily. No. We want to get like Prelate put on 1, right, to turn off cantrips. There's nothing that can like get rid of this Omniscience in a game 1 here, so grabbing Sanctum Prelate and putting it on 1 to stop the flow of cantrips would make the most sense. Alternatively, grab Flicker Wisp, flicker the Recruiter, grab another Flicker Wisp, and use that Flicker Wisp to flicker out the Omniscience or something, but it seems like it's going to take way too long. Ah, cool, so we are just dead. They actually did just draw one of the 4 pieces they needed and have the other 3 pieces in hand. Solid. Their hand was actually just show and tell, Omniscience, pay off, and drew a land. Or some variation of those 4. Sweet. Alright. Probably do board in extra Crater Makers, right? Because that can potentially an onboard Crater Maker can try to stymie the Omniscience Emrakul plan. Obviously bring in Pyroblasts because they're great. Council's Judgments, fine. Cataclysm's a maybe. Bolts are probably maybes. Cut all our plows. We don't know. We always saw was basic islands. So we don't know what variant they're on. Whether they're on like a color splash or not. Cut Magus here, obviously. P and K, just like these cards are way too slow. Dire Fleet is probably good enough, just like hitting a cantrip. You can also sometimes, if you have like the Violent 2 and like get, although you're not really gonna be able to get a counter, right? Because they're boarding out their Spell Pierces and stuff, so that's probably unlikely. But cantripping to try to find your like blasts and stuff is probably not unreasonable. Looking at some of the other cards that we're still leaving in the deck, like Gumzao's Jite and Lightning Bolts, they sometimes have like random shitty creatures, whether they're on like Coatls and blue-green, or if they have like Artisans or whatever. It goes face. It's fine. Hey, Hondo, thanks for the 60-month resub. Appreciate it. 60 months of paying the Thalia tax. True, true. If it's 2019, you probably wouldn't have to pay the Thalia tax ever, because it would be asymmetrical. Just like cut GTA for a second bolt. This looks fine. If they were blue-green, if we knew they were blue-green, I'd probably like cut these Revokers or something, but would I rather have Cataclysm than a bolt? Probably. Being able to Armageddon them is like kind of important. cut anything else? Not really. Let's just go for it. I would love to play first. This thing is kind of miserable. Turn 3 recruiter on the play with no vial is probably not good enough. Port is strong in the matchup. Lily, calm down. Do you want me to let you out? You whined and whined to come in here. This hand is just kind of weak, though. I think I'd rather ship it. Oh, nice. We got a blast. We can ship an Aether Vial. This hand is much better. Just waiting on the asymmetrical creature tax Thalia for whatever reason taxes your own creature spells. Is red white any better than mono white? Well, the reason I'm playing is because I do think that red white has some strengths, especially in the current meta. You get access to some powerful cards that mono white doesn't. Namely, Pyroblast is a very big one. All right, Lily, I'm kicking you out. All right, we're back. Sure. Next turn. Do I just cast Stoneforge here? We have the Vial, which makes me like I don't need to cast the Stoneforge, but I don't necessarily need to hold a Blast on turn 2. There's a chance that we get like Soul Land Show and Tell, obviously. I don't know how heavily I'm supposed to play around that. Maybe a little bit more now. Lotus Spell a little bit ominous. We're bitching about Astrolabe. I mean, yeah, Astrolabe. Fuck that card. Yeah, I think we'll say go. The opportunity cost is like relatively low because this Stoneforge will just come down later on that Aether Vial. I think just holding up this Blast is pretty strong. Probably just gonna get like Force of Will and then we're gonna die. What does our hand need to be? Land, Show and Tell, blue card, Force of Will, Omniscience, and Payoff. That's exactly 6 cards as they did last time. Except they also top decked one of the pieces that they needed. So now they even have an extra piece. Oh, they are the green version, notably. Important to know. Hey! Actually fucking did something. And before our second show until next turn. Ooh, that's a good one. Die. So we boarded out the GTAs. The only thing we have is Battle Scroll, so there's no point in casting the Stoneforge Mystic here. Every time a show until gets blasted, Angel gets its wings. Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, yes. No land drop. Oh, yeah. You love to see it. Yes. Get dunked, opponent. Should I show a name deck for the 4-color Loco Ohm deck? Oh. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that stream. Ooh, second Power Blast. Hot. I'm sure there are a lot of names for it out there. What do I want to do here? Recruit a Sanctum Prelate, put it on 3, win the game, put a sword on it. 4 Loco. Yeah, that probably tracks. Got the second blast. I wonder if my opponent's gonna like board in. They probably left in their forces, obviously, especially like main deck Veils. Do you bring back in Veil like now that you know about Pyroblast? There's no way, right? Because it doesn't even cantrip. It's just like counter target Pyroblast. What's up, Min? So I want to put in the sword here because I want to put the sword on the Prelate. Because against blue-green, Prelate on 3 holding a Sword of Fire and Ice is basically unkillable. versus me. Yeah, it's not a good plan by any means. Hey, at least you have some black spells, right? You can counter Munitions Expert. Yeah, there could be like the like blue-red with like the light green splash. They didn't specifically fetch this out or something, they just had it. Sanctum Prelate. Expert, yeah. Okay, I didn't know you were talking about specifically show and tell players. Then yeah, that seems pretty wild, but... Is red white the new D&T juice? I've been trying it out to some medium results. We really want to draw another land here, so we're gonna hold up Blast again. Because if we get like, I get aggressive with the Sanctum Prelate and we get Echoing Truth. Maybe I'm supposed to like not protect it this turn and like Violet in on their upkeep or something, so they can't like bounce it and just hit them. Oh well, now we drew Blast, so we're like just totally fine. Don't I just hit them for more and still do that play? What do I lose to? Like Pyroclasm if they are on the red version. We can't blast it and our Prelate dies. I think I'm just gonna hit him. Violent Prelate on 3 in their upkeep here. We don't know if they are on the... Although we did see Lotus Petal, which is not always in the blue-green decks, so maybe there's a possibility that they are on the base blue-red with blasts. There's a possibility I am throwing this Prelate in the dumpster. I'm also not confident that that matters a whole lot. Okay, they fetch out a second Trop, so that probably means that they're just stone cold to this, right? Yeah, I'll just put this on 3 here. Now they have a maybe one of Eureka as soon as we put a sword on it. Wasteland's nice. I'll take that. Pew. Do I want to move the sword over here? It's either that or put in Batter Skull. We get an extra 1 damage and we start protecting the Sanctum Prelate. Okay, they just conceded. Easy. Alright, so we know they're on blue-green, but we also saw Lotus Petal, so Revoker stays okay, rather than against some of the blue-green dragons that don't play Petal. Plow's bad, Bolt's better. Sometimes you want to push damage through a Coatl. Is there anything in our deck that's like worse than this Lightning Bolt? Probably not. I think I'd rather have like a Crusader than a Lightning Bolt in most cases. Yeah, this seems fine. Cataclysm looks better here. The blue-green decks just kind of want to hit more land drops and stuff, especially when they're under like Thalia's reports, so sometimes you just want the bad Armageddon. This all looks fine. Porting a Self-Wrath versus a combo deck is very funny. Yeah, it's really weird. It's very understandably counterintuitive. Alright, so this hand does not seem to have the tools we want. My bottom mold is 6. Our hand is okay. We have the turn 1 Vial, but none of our very powerful haymakers in the early turns, namely Thalia and Blast, I suppose. Other cards we're looking for. Vial Port Hands are also decent. I think this is worth going to 6. Yeesh. Is this worth going to 5? We have Mom into Revoker. No mana denial. Is my opponent going to mold a 5 is the question. My opponent kept 6. I think this hand sucks. I think this hand sucks a lot versus opponent 6. Revoker really just not going to do it. Fuck me, I guess. This might have to do on a 5 and try to rip a white source, of which we have 24 minus 8. 16 white sources in 2 turns. Yeah, this hand probably has to do on a 5. Keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bottom another 2 Stone Forges. Could also top deck Vial. Yeah, Vial would get us slightly in this game. If my opponent has like... Wow! Bottom 2 Stone Forges, immediately draw the 4th one. Amazing. Thanks, Moto. The old scry bug, except we didn't scry. Alright, what you got, opponent? Come on, yeah. Skill game. We still in it. Let's start playing next turn. Probably just cast Stoneforge Mystic, unless we find a land, in which case we just want to obviously recruit her for a Prelude as soon as possible. Yeah, Force of Will. They just like do me again, the exact same setup. Land, Show and Tell, Omniscience, WinCon. Back to Uro, nice. Card is outrageously expensive on Moto. Everything costs the same on Arena though, at least. Alright, not doing anything dirty like they did last in game 1. It's not super helpful, it's not bad. At some point. I guess we probably just need to Stoneforge for Batterskull. Shotport not looking like it's going to do a lot. Opponent obviously doesn't have all the payoffs right now. Let's pick up the old skull. Pick up the old skull. I think like intuition me here. I hope not. Something scary. Really hoping their hand is just like some of the pieces and like no cantrips and they're just trying to find the others. What did they pitch to that Force of Will? Ponder. Seems like kind of desperate. If you pitch a Ponder to a Force of Will and then like don't cast anything, it means that your hand is just like all pieces that you need. Or is the only blue card. Which also means that their hand is probably just like all pieces that they would want, right? Well, you definitely pitch an Omniscience before a Ponder there, right? Maybe not. Alright, well, actually, fuck. Oh man. Good thing Static's not here to rub it into this basic mountains in my deck and it's not letting me cast a Sanctum Prelate next turn. Do I just have to recruit Prelate anyway and just like hope a little bit? Definitely a possibility. Does Quaddle trade with my thing? Yeah, if they fetch Forest. Or if they fetch Island, but they'd have to fetch Forest to cast it, obviously. I think I just have to do this anyway. I think I'm also just supposed to attack into this. If they have a Quaddle trade with the Stoneforge, it's kind of whatever. We have a second Stoneforge eventually. This Batterskull is not coming down super soon, and we just want to push damage as hard as we can in this matchup. We could also tutor for like a Thalia. Thalia doesn't seem very good here though. Tutor for a second Wisp, but I don't think they're on a nearly low enough life total for me to win with a Wisp chain. We also can't cast a second Wisp either, so yeah, I think it's just Prelate. This really feels like they are just going to Quaddle me, but they didn't Quaddle me last turn, which they would have just wanted to draw a card, right? More than they want to like just try to ambush Viper a Squire here. Yeah. No, stop. Stop it. No, this is not what I wanted to see. Now we're almost assuredly dead, right? So we could put in Flicker Wisp and try to draw Blast, right? Assuming they have Omnisciences. If they just put in an Emrakul, the Flickers can also target our Recruiter, and we can go get a Crater Maker and Crater the Emrakul still. Yeah, this is just 3 Omnisciences. So our best play is probably just put in Wisp and try to rip Blast, rather than put in Prelate and hope they don't have an Emrakul. We could like put in Prelate and put it on 3 and hope that they're on the Wish kill. Maybe that's just statistically more likely. No, I feel like they would have wished for something relevant last turn, right? When they just had 3 mana and did nothing. So they have Omniscience Emrakul here. We need to Wisp their Omniscience and then hit a 3 and 49. If we put in Prelate, we can turn off Wishes, of which they probably play 4. Omni usually plays the full set of Wishes, right? And then that just gives us more outs to actually win the game from there. Not confident I know what's correct to do here. Also, if we put in... They just wish for 3 Omniscience, though, so we know they have Omniscience. Wisp only buys us a turn. We hit them for 4, 5, not even close. Yeah, we just need to buy multiple turns. 3 Wish, and like just enough Wishes to Intuition for, I suppose, would make some sense. Yeah. I honestly not 100% sure what's correct here. I feel like our 3 outer to hit a Pyroblast is not high, and we don't have any other ways to beat the Omniscience if they do just have the Emrakul. So I think Prelate is more likely to try to win us this game. Although, no, they knew we had the Prelate, so like this play doesn't make sense if we just put in the Prelate here. Right? Or maybe it does. New inquiry. Am I supposed to attack with the Sanctum Prelate? I don't think I can afford to, right? We can put in the Batter Skull, and we can port, which doesn't do anything in the Omniscience, obviously. So we have to cast Revoker here. So we just attack for 1, put in Revoker, revoke Grizzlebrand, I guess. Because there's a chance if they draw Grizzlebrand, we can find a Caracas or something, and they prevent them from drawing 7. So yeah, I think I can't afford to attack with the Prelate, even though there's a very low likelihood that they have a Coatl. I think it's just really obviously extremely disastrous. They would have just fired off cantrips there, so the only cards they could have are the Wishes or something at this point, or just cards like Force of Will. We We also want to, if we find double white or something, we can flicker wisp our recruiter to go get a crater maker, because a crater maker in play at least prevents us from dying to the first Emrakul. But we need the second white for that. If we had double white here, we could also cast the Solution for it to get the sword and then put in this Batter Skull here. But we don't. If we had double white, we could do a lot of things. Cast Revoker, name Grizzlebrand. That's spooky. Can we find a Pyroblast, please? Would certainly be nice. That's not a Pyroblast. We can't do anything here. We just have to Stoneforge, hit them for a bunch. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, so it doesn't really matter. If the Prelate doesn't increase the clock here. Even if they were at 13 right now from attacking last turn, it would be 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Put them to 3. Would rather them drawing multiple cards, but I think they only really need one card to kill me. Can we put them to 4 here? 6, 8, 9, 10. No, we can put them to 5, but they're not going to fetch. So yeah, attacking doesn't matter here. We'll just play everything and hope it's good enough. It could potentially matter if they do have like a Coatl and like block the Germ or something. This is not putting anything in because we're using our white to cast the second Stoneforge Mystic here. We're going to cast the Vial too, just because permanents might end up mattering here if we get Emrakul. There's a possibility we can take 15 and they can't kill me. But yeah, we should be pretty set to lethal. Yes! Whew! That was a close one. Really wish I knew if they had the Wish in hand, if our like Prelate play was correct. Maybe they did have the Wish, and they're like, well, if they don't put in Prelate, I win, and if they do put in Prelate, then I have this Omniscience in play now to try to win with. Like, to find cantrips and stuff and chain them off to just go get the Emrakul naturally. That might have been the logic. Or they might have just, like, wanted to put in the Omniscience and, like, didn't have anything. I feel like I've played against STL Dreamcrusher before. The name sounds familiar. Yeah, that Pyroblast is super clutch game too, as it turns out. This hand is mediocre. I think it's good enough to keep. One more against a 6. We got good tools to fight not combo matchups. If you play the Prelate next turn, they... Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. You're right. That makes a lot of sense. They need to try to get the Omniscience to play that turn, because if I do have the other white source, then they're just totally iced out anyway. So yeah, even if they didn't have anything, or if they just had the Wish but knew that they couldn't beat the Prelate that turn, then yeah, that tracks. Oh boy, we're getting Red Black Reanimator. This hand, not good for this matchup. I will snap concede to a Grizzlebrand. And by snap concede, I always just let my opponent draw cards first. It's a reanimate, so it's like slightly less likely to kill me, but as soon as they put a Thoughtseize on the stack, we'll just concede. Good enough for me. Bring in these bad boys. I think the rest of these cards suck. I suppose that is a pretty big detriment for this iteration. Is that like we have like random incidentally okay cards for this matchup in the white variants, but since we're playing all these like red cards, that just like these cards line up a lot worse against what my opponent's doing. Goblin Crater Maker 2 does not seem like quite enough damage for this matchup. Dire Fleet is probably okay. You can even like at some point like steal reanimation spells, but also like stealing Thoughtseize is probably moderately relevant. Hit the reanimate fog. Yeah, that would be a sweet line, certainly. This P is bad. Magus, I can't imagine he's useful in this matchup. There's potential that you could like ice them from like certain things. Although I'm used to just cutting the whole Stoneforge package, but we definitely don't have enough Bordens to cut the whole Stoneforge package, right? These cards are all fine. So if I wanted to, we could just shave some of the Stoneforge package. And like what, Stoneforge? I think I'd rather GTA than Sword. Bolts might be worth it. Just like watch them go low and then bolt them out. Seems like kind of loose. We're at 61 right now. It's not like we're like starved for cuts. Yeah, Reach is like not nothing, but I like these cards, and like I don't think I'm cutting the whole Stoneforge package for like what, like Lightning Bolts and a Magus and like nothing else. We're like looking for another cut. I don't really think we need bolts, so I think I'll cut. We'll cut a Recruiter. I think actually, Recruiter's pretty weak when we don't have a Graveyard Hate bullet to hit. It doesn't really find anything super interesting. Could potentially find like Dire Fleet or Thalia or like Prelate, which are all like okay cards to find, but they're not great. I guess we'll just leave in this like awkward some kind of Stoneforge package. We have 2 cages and 3 rips, which is not bad. And I'm probably just supposed to keep this. Except my Fate to Eternal. We can lead on Flooded Strand here too, because they don't know what we're on, so we can pretend like that we're maybe a Force Will deck, and they might not like go off game 1. I only have a Chancellor, so. But actually, Chancellor's really bad. No, we have to play this Vial to get through the Chancellor to play our recipes now, so the jig is just completely up already. As I was probably supposed to. I don't know. Maybe if they didn't reveal a Chancellor, I wonder if I'm supposed to actually just go Flooded Strand Go rather than play this Aether Vial. Because this Aether Vial doesn't do jack. And there's the potential that hiding information, pretending we're a blue deck for a turn, might be more valuable to get to the turn 2 rip. But obviously, with a Chancellor trigger, less relevant. So we just can pretty easily fetch Plateaus in this matchup. We have, I think, 1 red card in the whole deck, but there's no way for them to punish us. And there's no way for us to punish ourselves because we cut out the Magus. We'll fire off the Vial into the trigger. Try not to get turn 1'd. If we get turn 1'd and it's like just the looting into the Chancellor, there's potential that we could find enough mana to Judgment it away. But there's a lot of what ifs, none of which we can really control. So let my opponent do their thing and hope it's not scary. Nope, stop. Faithless Looting, please. Faithless Looting is a lot less scary than Entomb. Cool. And then pass the turn. Don't play any Lotus spells or anything. Just say go. Ship it on over, please. Let me put my rest in peace on the stack, opponent. I would really appreciate that. They discarded Grizzlebrand Gravetite. Oh boy. Well, yeah, sometimes you just get got. They also have like Exhume to like beat a Surgical or something. I don't know, they just have Animated. be nice to have a surgical or something. But yeah, it looks like we are just dead. Got turn 1 through Leyline the other day. Jeez. I guess they just had the referent silence or whatever, right? Just like fetch by a referent silence, dark writ, into reanimate or whatever. They're gonna also make a Grave Titan after also like thought seizing me. Are they gonna like Iona me or archetype? It's a pretty good turn 1. Pretty good turn 1, I would say. Where's we need a reverent silence here. Be pretty strong. So we get for 11. So yeah, counts as not gonna be fast enough. A lot of chancellors you got there, opponent. Just wait till I miracle my terminus. Dang, never lucky. Literal squire, support every third equipment. Stoneforge always here to help. Alright. Well, we'll move on with our day. Sometimes you get turn 1s twice, and that's just the kind of days you sign up for when you play a deck like Death and Taxes, certainly. If you really wanted to gun for red-black, you'd play much more narrow cards like Surgical or Macabre. Surgical's not that unreasonable in this meta. It might actually be better than Cage. I was mostly playing Cages because I was like, was irrationally scared of Hogak for a long time, but it seems like that deck really fell off. So it's definitely possible that the 2 Cages in my sideboard should just be Surgicals anyway, because Surgicals are like decent right now. Help a lot more on Cage against stuff like Doomsday, that's for sure. Yeah, I definitely thought Gak would make a resurgence. I don't know if people are just like not playing it, or it's not good for some reason. This hand does not look very capable. This hand looks more capable, but not by a huge amount. What am I bottoming here? Canyon, mountain, probably mountain. On the draw again? Dang, never lucky. Yeah, I think we're bottoming the mountain here. Bayou, that can never be a good thing. Oh, my opponent said, "Hi, good luck, have fun, sir." So they're definitely playing some bullshit. They're definitely playing some bullshit. We got the natural turn 1 mom, turn 2 GT, but we lost the die roll, so we're probably just fucking dead anyway. I wonder if Maxis was like wasteland that Bayou, since they hit a creature with their 1 spawn at a time, but then they would have like cast a mana thing, if that's what they were strapped on. Wastelanding would have definitely just like time walked me pretty badly. Looks like we're definitely dying before we untap for a turn 3. So my plan is not gonna pan out super well. They have one card left in hand, and it's probably Natural Order, but, you know, maybe it's not. We can't plow any of their mana thing. We can't, like, plow Wasteland because they have 2 Burst Lore Rangers. So we can't even try to, like, ice them on mana here. We could plow the Nettle Sentinel, but then they just have, like, 2 Burst Lores, 2 Elvish Reclaimers. I'm pretty sure I am supposed to just cast the GTA and hope the last card in their hand isn't Green Sun or Natural Order. It, like, has to be, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Untaps the Nettle Sentinel, and it definitely just kills me. If we Wasteland them, they have 1, 2, 3. There's potential to try to stop Natural Order. But the problem is that this plow just does so little. We'd have to plow the Nettle Sentinel, right? To cut them off of the most mana. And if they have another land, they can just Reclaimer for a Cradle the following turn. But they would need to have another land, like draw a land and have the NO. Or just draw an... Does Elf NO kill me? Play the Elf following turn. It would have to be an Elf that tapped for mana, right? Because tap would still only get them to 3. Maybe Plow Wasteland wins me more games here. I just don't know how much I'm supposed to respect Natural Order being their last card. Maybe I'm just supposed to, like, Hail Mary because this matchup's unreasonably bad and just have, like, the GT online this turn. Or the following turn, and then have GT plus Plow. You gotta know. We'll die. I'll accept my fate. Alright, we have a Plow, so we can get through a Symbiote, which is important. Oh, well. It didn't have anything. That's a lot of attacking. We need to block up Burst Lord Rangers. Pick it up with the Wirewood, but yeah. And they can reclaim for something. We still get a connection, which is not nothing. Unfortunately, we can't really like Wasteland the Cradle or anything, because this Reclaimer can just go get more Cradles too. They played a Morph. Guess that's valid, but the mom is just going to be suiciding itself here anyway. You know, reclaim one of your lands into something better, like a Pendlehaven maybe? Pendlehaven lets you work through this GT. I'm going to have to plow the Symbiote, and then I can't actually pop both the Burst Lord Rangers because I actually played it as a Morph. Then I get Dryad Arbor here. A Peat Land, and that's reasonable. So yeah, if they want to, they can unmorph their elf, block with it, and then pick it up to prevent it from GT counter. So if I want to connect, I would have to plow and then suicide my Mother of Runes. I think I'm okay with that plan. Are 2 GT counters going to be super important right now? Kind of. Take down the Symbiote and possibly take down both Burst Lords could definitely be something. Though we'd have to take down the Cradle, and they have 2 Reclaimers. You know, this probably isn't going to work out very well for me. Regardless. I assume they want to untap one of their creatures in response. Untap an Elvish Reclaimer in response here? No, alright. Now we could kill both Burst Lords if they block, which I think they have to. The following turn we can potentially like recruit a Prelin or something? Recruit a Mirran Crusader maybe? The turn after, though, we would definitely be equipping plus playing Mom, so I don't know exactly what we would recruit. Depends on the nature of these next couple of turns. I think they wanted to untap a Reclaimer to block with it so they don't lose both Birchlows. Maybe the Birchlows don't matter because they already have access to this Cradle. But we could try to cut off that line with something like a Wasteland at some point anyway, but they do have double Reclaimer. It's probably better to pop both these than the Nettle Sentinel, though. The Nettle Sentinel doesn't always untap. Trying our best. Let's rip a land. Yeah, get the Dried Arbor. Crack the Peat land. Immediately Natural Order me. No, Visionary. That's pretty good. These Reclaimers are big, and we're at 13. We might just die to beats. Didn't really factor that in, but we are just at exceptionally low life channel. Are we just dead? If we play Direfleet Mom, go to 4, block. We need to draw a green spell. But yeah, we might actually just be dead. If we play Mom plus equip with G-Tate, yeah, because the combat damage will happen at the same time. So yeah, we need to Mom Direfleet and then not hit a green spell, I guess. But then we also have to just chump with both of our creatures to live here, right? Anyway, yeah, I think we just lose regardless. I think we just lose to the Beats plan. Because these Reclaimers got big off. I was not factoring in the Windswept Heath just getting their beat down on. But that definitely is a plan B. Those Reclaimers are large. Large and in charge. Yeah, because we have to chump. Oh, no we don't. Why didn't they just attack with everything? We'd just go to 1, right? We'd have to double chump block and then go to 1 life. Attack with everything seems way better, but does this still give us any outs to win? Have to chump block with the Mother of Runes because the Direfleet holding a G-Tay could block an Elvish Reclaimer and we gain 4. Yeah, we're still super dead. Unless we draw maybe a Plow gets us out of this, but probably not. But I think First Strike's going to be more important than Protection, so... We drew a Mom, which does not do a whole lot because we can't cast it. So if we equip attack, we can go up to 5 life, play the Mom on 4 life, and have AG take counter. We can block, ping, take 5, die. If we equip don't attack, and they don't attack with everything again, we can live. But it seems unlikely, but it's definitely our most likely plan. Is that they miss lethal on the following turn. Last turn wasn't technically lethal, but the attacks with all of the 1/1s was, like, objectively the best play. I wonder if I was supposed to, like, think about my life total more, not suicide my Mom that turn. Maybe just play the Mom and equip the G-Day, or have the Mom holding the G-Day not attack. They found the line. Quarren stream. Alright, we'll take down as many fucking elves as we can on our way out. Eat shit, Elvish Visionary. Die. purge as many of these green motherfuckers as I can before I die here. And then go out on my own terms. Alright. Board in these things, board in these things. What did I do last time? Played against this matchup on Wednesday, right? Daredevil sucks. Thalia's suck. Batterskull sucks. B&K kind of sucks. There's not really an end game that I foresee where you get to throw artifacts at their creatures to kill them to a reasonable degree. So I think I'd rather just consolidate our cards that actually help us win more games. Having one in the deck, it probably isn't unreasonable, but I think this probably just looks better. I would like to play first. Probably supposed to keep this hand. Doesn't go anywhere. The only ways you really get places are usually with Stoneforge Mystic. We have double removal spell, Vial, Wasteland. To be cognizant of, we have a Magus, and Magus is like not actually a horrible card in some instances, so that can give us can provide us information on what we're supposed to fetch. I think probably just Plateau Basic Plains though, because we cut all the P and K, so we never need double red. So Plateau Basic Plains lets us do most things. If this hand didn't have a Wasteland in it, I think I'm supposed to ship it. The Wasteland makes me like it a little bit more. Elves can have some, like, a little bit of an awkward mulligan, so double removal spell plus Wasteland could buy us some amount of time. Next row we can plow Wasteland if they play a thing that is worth plowing. Well, you can't Wasteland, so... Don't even know if Burst Force is worth hitting. Could instead cast Crater Maker if we wanted to, but that's inefficient considering that we'll be able to put in the Crater Maker next turn. So the play might just be Mesa Go. If they play another Elf, we might want to plow the Birchlow Rangers. That play probably looks better. So there's a world that we do want to stumble them here if they like don't have another land drop or something. Stop fetching basic forests, please. So Visionary? Yeah, I'll put Birchlow in response to that, I think. Sandbagging this Wasteland. They're playing around Wastelands pretty hard, though. So I don't think it super matters. We could just not want to activate Crater Maker this turn and just prel it on, like, what, 4? Because Natural Order's scary? I don't know. Not 1, because we have 2 bolts and 3 more plows in our deck. We only have a Cataclysm if we played on 4. We don't really have anything to protect from Abrupt Decay, so 2 is not a huge deal. I think just NO is scary. Glimpse also kind of scary, but hard to guess what your opponent's plan is. Green Sun for 1. So this is the bug Wirewood. Get Wirewood Visionary online. We can at least Crater make it. Oh, it's Heritage Druid. So Some spooky stuff going on. Please wasteland that Savannah. The Savannah feels like kind of bait. Like they fetched it because they didn't have any more forests, but they wanted to protect... Oh god, they just have the symbiote. That's very bad for me. Now we have to pop the symbiote and leave them with Heritage Druid. Time to make some craters. I was thinking about Revoker there, maybe? Lightning Bolt. That's not bad. Problem is that, like, these tools are not going to get me across the finish line right now. We need a lot more. We need to find, like, Recruiter for Stoneforge or something. So, step one, attack with everything. Seems fine. They do get a free block with the Visionary, right? Because their plan is probably pick it up for redraws. But that's the same as popping the Wirewood and then attacking, right? Attacking with both gives them more opportunities to, like, fuck up. Wait, this untaps things. Do I need to be worried about that? Like a double block? No, we have a Bolt and a Wisp in hand, so double blocks are just bad for them because it kills more things. So they can't, like, get natural order online, even if they, like, untap a thing, pick up a tap thing, and, like, triple block the Sanctum Prelate. They still are not close to being able to clear the Prelate. If their plan is to try to, like, get their NO outline or something. I'm probably going to pretty aggressively fire off this Flicker Wisp because we need a clock. My opponent has 2 cards in hand, so I think we just want to try to close this game before they find stuff. So it might just end up being, like, pop this. Whoa, they are double blocking. Interesting. So they do really want to kill. Not F6, right? They really do want to kill the Prelate. They're okay with this trade. Don't think it's a good plan to let this happen. So I just pop the symbiote anyway, and then they pick up their Visionary response. So nothing is lost for them here. But they're giving me the option to misplay, I suppose. I guess this block would prevent 2 damage, right? If I had popped the symbiote pre-combat and then just attacked the Prelate, then maybe this block wouldn't have occurred. Maybe that was actually incorrect to attack with both. Maybe this is actually a punish for attacking with both creatures and not just preemptively popping the symbiote. We could just bolt the symbiote and get our 2 damage in anyway, and just not pop anything, but I'd probably have to pop the Druid anyway, but that would just give me more damage. It would deal more damage to my opponent if I'm just going to clear both, so yeah. Just bolt the symbiote. Because this also just pushes more damage. If I was going to fire these both off this turn, which I was planning on. Yeah. This deals me my 2 damage. And then we want to pop the Heritage Druid, wasteland the Savannah, flicker the Llanowar Elves probably. Maybe not flicker the Llanowar Elves. Kind of tempted to keep the Crater Maker and actually just flicker with this Heritage Druid for a turn at least. They'll have 3 mana. We know they have a Visionary in hand that they're probably going to cast. They can't NO me, so I think it will actually just try to leave the Crater Maker and play for longer to push more damage. So it's putting them from 3 to 2 here isn't a huge deal. Could potentially let them develop like a 1+2 instead. But it also could potentially conserve our Crater Maker for a juicier target. Green Sun for 1. Yeah, like another symbiote. I'd rather pop that than a Heritage Druid. Oh, wow. That's scary. What are they going to do here, though? Now they have 2 Heritage Druids, so I don't want to pop either, right? So this still gives me more information on what to crater. Which, as of right now, is just nothing. Feels like a really aggressive Green Sun for Heritage Druid. I don't know what the rest of their hand is. But, like, it seems like kind of a waste of a Green Sun if you're just getting the other Druid back. Revoker's not bad. If we attack with both, my opponent might double block here and force the ping. Would I rather just only attack in the air, revoke Heritage Druid, and like pop the elf or something? Leave them with Forest, Visionary, 2 turned off Druids. I could just attack with the Crater Maker if they block. If they do decide to double block, I could either take that trade or just decide to do my other option. Would they double block? They have 3 cards in hand, we don't know any of them. I think I am going to revoke Heritage Druid here. So I'll attack with Crater Maker. If they double block, I'll just pop the elves, I think. Nice, this just pushes more damage. Heritage Druid. Question is, do I kill this elf? Takes them from 3 to 2 mana, which might be more relevant now. Yeah, I think it's more relevant. I don't think this Crater Maker is going to get a lot more chances to attack at this stage, so I think I do just want to clear this. The punish is if they have like another symbiote or something. Green Sun for 1. Crappy symbiote could get really ugly. Yep. It's a little bit slow, though, given their mana choke point. Oh, they grab Birchler Rangers because they're choked on mana. Alright. It's not horrible for me. Chara, Recruiter, Stoneforge, Jite. I'd take a Sword of Fire and Ice at this point. Another Flicker Wisp isn't bad. Get to flicker out their Birchler Rangers for a turn. Fortunately, we don't have lethal set up for the following turn. It's probably still worth it, though. Yeah, put it in main phase, and we can untap our Wisp for however little that's worth. Here, unless they fucking gut shot my Flicker Wisp. Get me good. Something that's kind of on my mind is Force of Vigor, or whatever the card is. Not a lot that we can reasonably do about that. And they would take it would take a card out of their hands, so they'd only have 1 card left. Actually, no, they actually can't cast Force of Vigor, because Pearl's on 4, funnily enough. Would I say this is the worst possible match for D&T? No. I would say, on average, you're more likely to beat something like Elves than something like Belcher, probably. We put him to 2 here. We draw our second bolt for lethal. Or at least draw a removal spell for this Berkshire Rangers would be nice. Prevent them from making mana to, like, abrupt decay me. Or something spooky. That's not super helpful. I will put you to 2, and then you will abrupt decay my prelate, untap, and natural order me for lethal. Or just like naturally cast a hoof. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, the classics. Always exactly 1 turn from lethal, and then your opponent, Elves player, just always finds exactly what they need. Unfortunate. On the draw for the 4th match in a row. And today, much like Wednesday, does not feel like it is my day to win games of Magic. I think we could have won that game 1 against Elves if we were on the play, potentially. Against Red-Black, it just absolutely didn't matter, though. This hand, though. This hand's okay. Multiple 1-drops. Some mediocre 2-drops. Well, we have 2 draws, 23 lands in our deck. I think this is fine. Do I need to fetch Plateau here? No. Would be the answer to that question. I think I want to fetch basic plains, just in case they are some wasteland deck. Basic swamp volcanic. We need test. That's bad. So we don't have a Thalia in our hand. We can at least revoke this Wishclaw Talisman. That's not the end of the world. But it's certainly not good. Not happy about this. Wishclaw Talisman. Am I supposed to poke for 1 here? Test. They don't have a lot of main deck interaction that isn't like Burning Wish for stuff. They're Burning Wish for something, we're just getting Massacred or something like that. They're like Burning Wish for Grape Shot, my Revoker. It's probably ready to poke for 1. Every point of damage matters when you're playing against ad nauseum decks. They occasionally have like a 1 of main deck, like Chain or something that could like try to punish me, but not super common. This is a matchup that I'm not super excited to be playing the Red Splash. It's okay. I will board in the Pyroblasts, but I will also aggressively try to blast cantrips. Occasionally you can probably cheat out some wins if they go in on like an Echo turn, but Blast obviously much worse against like the black-based combo decks, the Doomsdays and the Storms of the world. Might just be dying anyway. I think I'll like Burning Wish for Grape Shot and actually punish me for attacking. right, Burning Wish, Grape Shot, and then, like, oh, wow. We actually are just getting punished for poking for 1. Not confident that it is the incorrect play. There are definitely worlds that we do get punished for that line. Grape Shot the Revoker, and then, like, what? Wish for, like, LED or Echo, and then Echo go off? I don't know. I mean, you got me, I guess. This is Ad Nauseam mana? Ad Nauseam on 0 mana. Or Echo with, like, what, 3 mana floating? Ad Nauseam is probably better in that deck, right? Why didn't they play the Chromux for Stormcount? They're just gonna Ad Nauseam me here at this point, yeah. Go ahead, knows with the trigger on this deck and had 1 mana. Oh, that's true, yeah. Cast the Chromox, and then you can activate the Lion's Eye. Yeah, just on your turn you can activate it at instant speed or whatever. Or they could have just activated it, grabbed the Ad Naz, cast the Chromox. Dude, they could have done a lot of things. Now we're super dead, but yeah, it's not a matchup that I want to see with my current build of the deck. Certainly, we have like a bunch of Graveyard 8, like no Storm Hate, like 2 Cages, which are like pretty miserable against this deck. I'll board them in because, especially on the play, they could stop Echo turns, but I'm not excited to have them by any stretch. Thought sees me before Burning Wishing. Alright, I'm bored. Alright. Yeah, this is not a matchup where we have good sideboard cards. Yeah, Storm players love to play in the prelims. I have no idea why, but like Cook and like 3 other Storm players are just always in there. I would definitely be bringing Deafening Silences every time I played in a prelim. What am I supposed to bring in? Like Shatters. Let's figure out what's bad first. All of our Plows. Our Magus isn't great. It's probably not horrible. These are probably the 5 cards that I'm okay with bringing in. Not a fan of Cage, but at least it's like turn 1 not unreasonable disruption. We could cut a lot of these bad 3s. I think bolts are probably worth it. I don't think a braid is. I think a braiding like a naked talisman before they go off with it, or like an LED that they play out to play around Thalia or something is fairly unlikely. I think these bolts are probably okay. This PK sucks. I don't know why it's still in the deck. Bolts probably randomly okay. Lava Spike, probably decent. Like I said about the Abrade, Crater Maker is probably not getting there. And then like a Flicker Wisp. Would I rather have like Crater Makers than Wisps though? I guess is another question. Wisp, not a good card. Crater Maker, not a great card either, but can have some random utility and like steal a game. I think steals more games than Wisp does. There's a possibility that this is correct. Being able to try to like shatter a naked like the base case is very similar on them. They're both like shitty creatures that attack. Yeah, interrupting the double LED lines or the or sometimes when they play out just what's that card? Talisman. Stuff like they did there in game 1. Notably can't shatter Witch Claw. Oh shit, you right. This thing says colorless non-land permanent. Maybe I'm supposed to have an Abrade in my deck. But Abrade is down. Base case is a lot worse. I got 5 seconds. Alright, we're playing Creator Makers. Yeah. You just assume that it can shatter all the artifacts. And it definitely can't. Am I supposed to keep this? This hand doesn't do anything, right? It blasts a cantrip. Yeah, Mox Opals and like Chromoxes, and the fact that we're a Thalia deck means that they will play out artifacts more often. Does open them up to getting shattered at some point. They might go all on Echo and die. Yeah, we can hope. If they Thoughtseize me, they probably just take the Daredevil. But if they don't, we can Daredevil Thoughtseize them. Yeah, this hand would definitely just be a fetch pass. I think I would just aggressively blast any blue spell that they put on the stack turn 1, and then just cast them all on turn 2, and hope to like Dire Fleet on turn 3. Maybe this hand is just like... Maybe this matchup is just very bad with my current build. We just gotta get lucky. Yeah, they don't play a lot of Thoughtseizes anymore. The current iteration of Tess is playing some number that isn't 0. But yeah, this Dire Fleet's very likely just cantripping. Do I just bolt their face if they don't do anything Pyroblast worthy? Probably not. How about they just Echo? What a world that would be. Although there's no way, because they would probably cantrip first, right? Maybe they'll just like ritual Echo me. Thoughtseize. Well, now they're gonna take my Daredevil and then they won't go for Echo, obviously, but... Or they'll just like take the blast and kill me before I can Daredevil Thoughtseize them. Yeah, that's the other line. We'll just draw Thalia, we'll be fine, Jet. Oh, Cage is not bad. Cage Daredevil is pretty bad, though. Wait, this exiles it, right? Exile target instant or sorcery. You may cast that card this turn. Ha-ha! It isn't Onambo. We did it. I'm a good deck builder, chat. Not anti-synergistic. So taking the blast makes me think that maybe they are trying to Echo me. And we do get to just cage them. It's the plan, at least. I'll just cage Mom here. According to plan. Now we need to not die this turn, which is a pretty big ask. We're really hoping that their plan was to just Echo me and that this cage is gonna fuck them up. Well, I'm gonna Thoughtseize them. It's probably not gonna look very good for me. Considering that next turn they just have almost enough mana to just add Nos me regardless. So, if we don't take this Rite of Flame, they have Rite of Flame, Witch Claw, Ad Nos. If we do take the Rite of Flame, they can Burning Wish. Burning Wish is just an incredibly scary card for them to have in their hand. This is just bad news all around, huh? I think I just have to take this Rite of Flame, right? Because if I don't take the Rite of Flame, they do just Ad Nos me, which is statistically very likely to kill me. Don't know how many misses they have off the top of their deck, because any land or, like, Ritual will still get me from here, but... the Rite of Flame. Also, I'm probably attacking with this mom. Our Daredevil isn't even important here. That was just like ponder into dark, or they needed to draw the Delta. Like I said, they had a lot of hits to just ad nauseam from here. Which is why we tried to choke the mana as much as possible. That is just what you do here, right? Trying to like play around Mind Break Trap or something? What's up? 6 mana, Wish Claw in play, ad nauseam in deck. Yeah, it doesn't seem super hard. Yeah, we just pray they have the world's worth ad nauseam. But Test's ad nauseams are just like far more lethal than Ants. They are at 6, and they can't kill me with the current pile, because they played a land drop. Well, Opal doesn't make mana yet. Come on, hit the Echo. Hit the Echo. Opal still doesn't make me up. Second Petal. We're maybe dead now? Probably dead. Petal, right makes 3, then 6 mana, right? And then Petal, Wish Claw, down to 5 red, and then their Opals are on. No, their Opals are not online because they've had to use both Petals. 5, but they have 5 mana with Wish Claw, but they can only empty me. Never mind, they hit Wish. Now we're probably pretty dead. Hey, Landon, thanks for the host. I appreciate it. I'm getting dunked on right now. And also Morgan Korn, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. In the middle of my test opponent trying to figure out if we're dying. I think we're dead now with that Burning Wish. Maybe not. I'm not an expert. I'm very far from an expert. Oh, they found a 3rd Petal. This probably kills me, right? It's so much mana. And now their Opals are online, so now I'm pretty sure they can just Tendrils me. And Knacker. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Yeah, now they had what, 4 red floating, and they play the Petal, and then they have 2 Opals to make the black mana, and they can Burning Wish for Tendrils me. That 3rd Petal did. They actually did not have a very good ad nauseam. It was like just good enough to win, which is insane because we did just have lethal too. If they stopped at the Burning Wish and just emptied, then we could have won. They were trying to hit like exactly, I think LED might have not even done. No, LED probably did because they had Wish Claw and Burning Wish. Yeah. Well, after they hit the Burning Wish, it was an LED or a Petal that killed me. Ugh. If I had bolted them on turn 1 though with my mana that didn't do anything, they might have been too scared to go down lower, even though they actually had the hit. So maybe I do just fire off those bolts as soon as possible. Especially after my opponent thought sees me and then knew about it. It's like they already can play around the lightning bolt in their head. So maybe the fact that I was tapped out meant that they could go lower because they knew they were trying to kill me that turn. Versus, like, if they knew they were trying to untap, they already know that the bolt's there. So it's possible that I should have just fired off the bolt at their face turn 1 after they thought sees me and took the Pyroblast. more careful. Yeah, after they hit the wish, they would have been at 1. They might have even stopped before the wish, because, like, so many things killed them at that point. We're getting smushed. Pretty badly. What does our last round have in store for us? Sugarless is our opponent. There should be a cardboard live icon, Yogg. 1 second, I'm gonna send a quick message. Is the red version better against you, Luger and Omnitel? Yeah, for sure. We only beat Omnitel today because we had the red in our deck. We got to blast a show and tell game 2. Anyway, this hand's good. Wow, just lost 5 die rolls today. That's the life we choose to live. Ooh, the mirror. The mirror. Our hand is it's okay in the mirror. We don't have a vial. But we do have a Moment of Plow, which are pretty powerful cards. But it's basically all about who has like the Stoneforge Mystics and their Evokers in game 1. Mom's good here if they don't answer it. They have a Stoneforge, that's bad. We also like need to leave up our opponent's good taste in basics, do they? This is okay. Not playing Snow Covered, so that's like automatically good taste. Oh, better late than never. We will leave up Plow here. I'm scared from Mother of Runes. And getting out this file is probably more important than getting down Thalia here anyway. Especially because they just have a Karakas in play. I would need to like wasteland the Karakas first. Which is not something you generally want to do in the mirror. But can be important sometimes if you need like the sticky first strike threat to try to prevent your opponent from clowning on you with a GT. Our biggest concern right now is like if they have multiple creatures in the air, because we can actually lock up the ground pretty well with like Thalia, Crusader, and Mother of Runes and stuff. But if my opponent has some Flicker Wisps, we need to be able to plow the first flyer, and then like we have no tools to deal with the second flyer. So we want to find our own Stoneforge, try to win the GT fight. We want to, yeah. We played the port because I cared the least if it got wastelanded. We want to find our own Stoneforge, Revoker, yeah, Crater Maker, Recruiter, stuff like that. I'll play the Wasteland now. There's a chance I Wasteland this Karakas because we want to use our Thalia, and they might not have another land after that. Unlikely, but give the old college try here. Usually, you really don't want to Wasteland Karakas in the mirror because it really sucks. Pre-board, it's a little bit better because your Thalias can not necessarily be important, but be necessary. So now we're rolling onto this Plow to try to beat a Wisp. They have Recruiter, it's very bad for us. They can't just equip and smush. A block. What are you gonna do? Violence, something that punishes me for activating this bomb? Yeah. Oh. I mean, I guess the attacks are kind of free too, but because the vial's only on one. Potentially maybe wisp out my mom on their end step to give it summoning sickness so they can get the challenge the next turn, but the wisp would already fulfill that role. We'll just pass here. No real reason to put in the Thalia right now. Fortunately, if they have Wisp, I'm going to Wisp my Vial, which is really obnoxious. I might Wisp the Mother first to try to tap it down. Yeah. That's certainly good for us. Do I need to plow this Wisp right now, though, to play around another Wisp and then try to cheese with the Thalia? No, if they have another Wisp, then they just Wisp with my Thalia and then just beat me with the GT anyway. So I think I'd rather them try to move the plow over and then we plow the Wisp, because that gives us... Then they'd have to Wisp their own Wisp. And that gives us another turn to potentially draw like a Crater Maker or something to answer this GT. Rather than if we plow the Wisp right now and they do have a Wisp, then they just Wisp my Thalia after I file it in, and then they get GT counters and we're super behind. Hey, Cafe Garrett, thanks for the hello and good luck. So yeah, we just let this happen. And if they move the GT over to the Wisp, that's okay with us. If they attack with the Stoneforge, that's great for us. Not moving on the GT is very big. So now we get to put in this Thalia. And if they do have the second Wisp for my Thalia, then we can still plow the Stoneforge to delay the inevitable and try to draw a Recruiter or Crater Maker or Revoker. Yeah. Or a Flyer at this point, because our Mother Runes would be online. I guess I could have paid one less for that by letting the Flicker happen first, but whatever. Yeah, that's definitely scary. Mike850, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Grab a Sword of Fire and Ice here. No, we're really up shit creek. We've drawn nothing but lands. We drew. This is Vial. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spells, 3 lands. Sounds about right. We got some hits here. They got a Batterskull. Also okay for me. Well, we'll just delay the inevitable another turn, I guess. Consider our hands here. I almost don't want to reveal the red splash, but there's a non-zero chance we can steal this game, so... All equips first, no equips, not great, yeah. I mean, this is just the D&T mirror. It's just like complete shit show. I kept a Thalia hand, my opponent kept a Stoneforge hand, and then like the match result was immediately decided. Or the game result, at least. I do think Red's probably a favorite in the mirror, because we have a lot of really good tools at fighting the GTA fights. Like, P&K's busted, Crater Maker's really good. What does this even do? Oh, they name... Wait, they're not equipping the GTA this turn? What? Are they playing around me having a Wisp, I guess? Like, this resolves. They're not gonna name Vile, right? I guess I'll put in my Crusader just in case they do name Vile for some reason. Because I don't want to plow this Revoker if I don't have to. Yeah, I guess they were playing around me having a Wisp. That's whatever. They probably name Mother of Runes here. It's totally fine. Because if we need it online, we can plow it. They've given me more turns to stay alive because they just decided to not equip their GJ this turn. Problem is we're also just getting beaten down with flyers. Recruiter is still good. Stoneforge is still good. Revoker less good now, but P&K would be pretty good. Wisp is not bad. They may have played around Wisp long enough for me to get a Wisp online. So we're just gonna attack with our ground piddlers. Yeah, we just need to push damage here. They have a Batter Skull coming. The Crusader could push damage through Batter Skull. Still not equipping? What the hell? Just attack with everything, no equips? Not even holding back the Stoneforge, like, put in Batter Skull? What on earth? Okay, there we go. Now we can just Wisp their Revoker and then block a Wisp. I think I'm fine Wisping the Revoker. We don't need to cash in this plow quite yet. What's this gonna do? I'll let it resolve. We could potentially get a really good blow with this plow if they like try to wisp my mom here. If they wisp my wisp, it's a different story. I'm wisping the Revoker. They're wisping my wisp. So we could plow the Revoker, pro-white the wisp, and eat a wisp still? That seems pretty good. We're still at a pretty severe disadvantage, but... It would have been a lot nicer if they just decided to equip the GT that turn as well, but... They just really don't want to. Skull's gonna be kind of problematic. We can't really attack with anything, but the Crusader can prevent the Batter Skull from being annoying, I guess. But it prevents us from really pushing any damage. We really want to find Recruiter, P&K. Second Mom's not the worst thing in the world. Learning the ins and outs of the mirror is really satisfying. Yeah, it can be. It can also be really frustrating, though, because the mirror is just sometimes really luck-sacky. Like, we are the games where being the better player matters and trying to scrape out wins where, like, you're super disadvantaged, like how this game has been going, feels good. But the inevitability of, like, if we lose this game, it's just going to feel like, oh, we tried our hardest to, like, play really well here, and it, like, just didn't matter because my opponent played a Stoneforge on turn 2 and found it was always GT. So, I don't think I can attack with Crusader this turn, but there's a possibility I can attack next turn. If I attack this turn, then they could put in the Batter Skull and potentially push my life total too much with Wisps and like a Batter Skull on the ground. With 2 Moms active, we might be able to start scraping something together. Loop 675, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. They put in the skull here. They also have the sword or something. Then we're back up Shit Creek. I mean, it's a little bit different because the cantrip decks always have the luxury of being able to, you know, cantrip and like sculpt their own hands for the matchups. If you have a bunch of plows in the Miracle's Mirror, then oh shit, they do have the fucking sword too. Then like you get to like just try to brainstorm your plows away and find your relevant cards. Sometimes like this deck, we're just at the mercy of like, oh, we kept a hand with Thalia, we can't like brainstorm away our Thalia or something, or cantrip towards our Stoneforge Mystics. Now we're at the point where we have one turn to live again, because my opponent now has Sword and GT. Yeah, thanks for the 7-month resub, Storm Thief, for the cats. I do miss the cat streams. I wish the Lily streams weren't as frequent. Because now they can only put one thing this turn, so they can't, like, get me yet. But they can put one thing on one wisp. The following turn, they can put one thing on another wisp, and we have one draw step to hit something relevant. Yeah, like this equip, they still can't do anything this turn, but they set up for equipping the GTA the following turn. What if I am supposed to just like fetch go to 7, just to try to thin the herd? Does 7 matter more than 7 is lethal with a single Sword of Fire and Ice Flicker Wisp, notably. I would have to block this one and let them get the GTA online. I think there's more chances of us winning if we block the Wisp with a GTA and then Mom Protection it. They have to use their sword trigger to clear the Wisp, or they can't keep connecting, and then there's a chance we draw something. If we so I don't think fetching is actually correct. It's the red 4. We got like Pia and Karan and Magus the Moon and a couple other cards in the main, and then we have a bunch of Pyroblasts on the sideboard of the big ones. They're like Wisp, Recruiter, our own Sword of Fire and Ice. Probably doesn't do something. Maybe does. So we descend for 4 here with our Crusader. Oh no, we have to fetch to cast our Sword of Fire and Ice. Shit. Because they're Thalia. We can attack with our Thalia here. If they block it, we can cast the sword. Thalia's not doing anything on this board state anymore. Yeah, this is what we wanted. Chance we could squeak out lethal somewhere here, depending on how these next turns break. They put the GT on the other wisp, they attack with both, we block the GT holding a wisp and Mom Protection it. They have to use their sword trigger to clear my wisp. And then we have 12 damage with the Sword of Fire and Ice Crusader. We don't have the 13th damage, but we could clear their second wisp, notably, with the double shock triggers. If they have, like, anything off this vial, we're hosed, but, I mean, don't play around stuff you can't beat. Here. Pro white. They they shock my Wisp, likely. Unless they don't have anything, which case they might need to shock their Crusader. Doesn't seem like it's a winning line, though. I think that's what they're figuring out right now. There should be a Cardboard Live extension somewhere on the screen, anomalous. If you're on mobile, there should be like a little icon below the stream. If you're on desktop, there should be a little icon somewhere on screen. This Plains. Oh, it's not bad Plains. It's a pretty good one. Longshanks. Yeah, they're figuring out where this ping goes. This shock could go on the Crusader. I think it's supposed to go on the Wisp. But if they don't have anything on this Vial, which doesn't show the deck, is it not up and going? Yeah, they're shocking the Crusader. Update stream. Save successfully. It should be okay. Try to refresh the stream, maybe. Oh, it's the other side. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the left-hand side there. Over there, that way. Alright. So you end up shocking this, which means I can't clear their Wisp. Which probably means I'm just putting the sword on a Mom and attacking, right? Because I need my Mom back to block their Wisp. Yeah, Crusader with the Wisp equipment is more of a threat. Yeah, if the context of their hand doesn't give them an answer to my Mirror Crusader, then obviously they need to do that. Because my play would immediately be put the sword on the Crusader, white it, hit them, and clear their Flicker Wisp. So it's definitely the good play. It just gives us a little bit of information with the context of their hand. That's not a good draw. I suppose we could have fetched there at that point, because now that we're at 3, if this sword ever connects, we're just dead anyway. But I didn't predict it, because Sword of Fire and Ice is colorless. It's not a literal shock. I think I'm supposed to just equip Sword onto the Mother of Runes and attack with it and not protect it. If they have like a Plow and like tap down my Mother of Runes or something, then we can still just trade Wisp for Wisp at the very least. So I think trying to start pressuring then. And then like potentially getting the Stoneforge off the board so they can't put in the Batter Skull is pretty big too. Obviously, equipping with the Wisp and attacking is a extremely risky gambit. I guess if they do have like a Plow or something, it could be pretty bad because they tap down my Mom, then like equip the Jite. Then we trade they get Jite counters. Then we still have his Mom holding a sword though, which is not unreasonable. I'm hoping they just have nothing. This is good. This is a good start. This block means that there's no Batter Skull. I'd really love to not have to tap my second Mom here, but I think it's still worth the swing. I think this game could have gone a lot differently if they had just been more aggressive with their GT in those previous turns. Alright, that's a good card for them. Good card for me to see from them. Alright, that's literally a Squire. It is a Squire that either blocks my Mother of Runes for another turn, or gets this Batter Skull down, though. So they can't attack. Attack seems very bad for them. Please send it. Come on. Come on. What's the worst that could happen besides the obvious on-board losing your Wisp for no value? Just swing it on in. No, come back. Dang. That's a pretty good draw. We can try to get RW D&T online in the coming turns here. They have 2 cards in it. One of them is Batterskull, so I think this attack is still good. I'm okay with this. This is just a stone cold trade. And we have a Mother Roots, and now we have aerial superiority. I've not been paying attention to chat. Oh geez, yeah. Is how ironic is that name there, bud? I think I just let this trade happen because I don't want them to get GT counters. You're the kind of person that enjoys registering this deck for events the opponents are encouraged to max it on Plague Engineers, confirm or deny. Yeah, that's pretty hard to confirm. Not been paying a lot of attention to that plan. This is a source of plowshares. It's not the end of the world, but it's pretty bad. It's all better than if we had activated the Mom. This is a plow. Alright, so they can double suit up the Mystic, then we block. Block is a trade, and then we lose most of our board here. That's not great for me, but it's still not the end of the world, I don't think. Pro-white. We could also potentially just chump block it instead of the Stoneforge, because then the 2 GD counters doesn't clear our Wisp. We'll see. I have nothing to do. I have no game actions I can relevantly take on their turn here, so we make our decision based on what they do, right? If they double equip and send, I have to decide what the best play is. Because it would be a 3-4. So holding a Sword of Fire and Ice and a GT means that we couldn't shock and ping it to death. And it would also be, yeah, staring at us to try to lethal us. Yeah, this is the threat here. We could clear it forever by blocking with the Wisp, and then we just put the sword, we attempt to equip the sword of the Stoneforge Mystic here. And then they would have to, like, double ping. And that leaves us with a Mom that we also could hold the sword. That's probably the play. Blocking with the Stoneforge seems really risky. I think I want to try to clear their board. We know they have Batterskull and an Unknown in hand, so if it's not a 3-drop, then we're pretty okay. So I think this is the block. Because they can't clear my board with the GT. So unless the last card in their hand is a 3-drop, we get a sword trigger this turn. We don't get a GT trigger, notably, which is important, but Flicker Wisp, port, not great, but you know. So now we'll equip here. They can decide on whether or not they want to ping my Stoneforge Mystic right now. It's possible I should have played out this land. Because if they don't ping off the Stoneforge and I had the Flooded Train to play from last turn, I could go to 1 and then also play the GT. Yeah, small error that might be pretty relevant. Because I think the correct play is for them to not ping it, unless they really think I need this other mana. Because the Mother of Urns is the more dangerous individual card. So being able to ping that is more powerful. We are dead to literally any 3-drop, but they only have one card that could be that 3-drop, so. I might actually port over casting the GT this turn so they can't cast a Batterskull. If they draw a land. So just picking the Mom here. You know, try to give the Stoneforge pro white, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me. Doesn't really do anything, because if they had something like a Flicker West, they just do it in response anyway, but. If they have Flickers, I'm just dead regardless. They can just let this trigger resolve and I still die. I guess I could draw like another Wisp or something. Yeah, if I had the land to play, I could have actually potentially got this GT online right now. Shock your face. Draw a land that's not useful. We'll have 6 mana on the following turn. I think I do just want to port them, actually. No 3-drop. It's excellent for me. I tap that Caracas in case they draw like exactly Thalia. They still could have hit a lot of relevant 3s to ice me from here. But if we can get GT online, then we should be safe. They have a Plow. Holding that Flooded Train might punish me. We could have definitely had a GJ with 2 counters here. Set up lethal for next turn and also potentially protect us from their first threat. There's exactly Thalia. So now we can't actually port them, but we get GT counters here anyway. So. We actually have to cast our 3 mana GT. Alright, still alive. If they draw land, they can cast Batterskull, but now Stoneforge just attacks through Batterskull because we have 2 counters in our GT. The Mom doesn't do anything. We just ping it. The last card in hand is Batterskull, so is there a punish for me pinging this now? A 2 toughness creature that then picks up a thing? I don't think there's a reason to ping it. Trying to think if there's some weird punish here. Just have to be careful with my opponent's vials. I guess if they draw like a Wisp, but no, they wouldn't want to use it to like try to save a Mom. This is Palace Jailer. Oh dear God. Actual worst possible. Maybe not actual worst possible, but certainly extraordinarily bad for us. Holy shit. If only I had more counters on my GT. Probably would have actually just been dead last turn if I had done the GT play and also could have ported them this turn. That's gonna come back to bite me really badly. We don't need to ping right now, so I guess this resolves. Attack for 1. Pinging does not save me for anything. We could actually double port. No, then they just equip the sword to the mom and lethal me anyway. So yeah, I'm just supposed to just ping this. We need to draw a creature exactly now. Fuck. It's just actual deads. Yeah, we can only port twice, and sword just deals us 6. We can gain to 4. Fucked up that game pretty badly. Never lucky. I mean, I did, like, not playing that flow train actually just, like, cost me this whole game. Because they drew the Thalia, which punished me for, like, punished me for doing the port play, not casting the GT. And then it made my GT cost 3 the following turn, so I couldn't port on that turn. Which means that they actually had exactly the 4 mana left over to cast their Palace Jailer. So it's definitely me fucking up in those last couple of turns. Trying to crawl back this whole game. They're just not equipping. Alright, I guess we get to live. Cool. I mean, we're probably still boned. We just, like, miss again. Oh, and they have Recruiter. That's very bad. They just get to Recruiter for Wisps and put me in the ground here. Recruiter Prelate. What on earth? God, I hope we... Yeah, opponent's trying really hard to give us this win. Playground Swords Supply shows we get 3 lethal creatures in play, I guess. God, I hope we draw a Recruiter or P&K or something. Oh, Jesus. Maybe my opponent will just not attack with anything to play around the cards in my hand. Why on earth would you grab Prelate there? You have 3 lethal attackers. They're not even equipped. Like, if what if I just have literally just Flickerous lets me get out of this turn? Why would you not just put the sword or the GT? I guess, okay, Flickerous doesn't actually get mad at this because they still have this GT counter from a million turns ago, but why would you not just equip? They're trying so hard to not win this game. Alright, well, that was game 1. A lot of powerful tools in game 2 here. We'll cut the Prelate and the Thalias and the Magus, I guess. Daredevil's probably, like, okay. There aren't a lot of relevant instants and sorceries in the matchup, but, like, just snagging a Plow is decent, which probably comes up at some point. And if you, like, snag a Council Judgment or something like game, it could be very, very powerful. So this looks like a pretty decent swap. Yeah, I was not playing that fetch for a while, for a couple turns, because I wanted to bluff having a 3 for them to play around. But the turn that I tutored up the GTA, I maybe should have thought about our ability to play on multiple equipment and stuff. Alright, this hand seems like gasoline. Alright. See, the hand seems really hard for Devon, Texas to beat. I think we just fetch basic Mountaineer for our bull, but we'll see. Fucking just Mom Stoneforge for GTA, 2 removal spells. If they turn one on me, though, we actually have to... Oh, they're just vialing, sure. Oh, we're just having a braid for this vial, too. God. I'm gonna fetch a mountain. If my opponent misses their land drop, I might just take a turn off of braiding. No, they just played out the port first. So I don't really care. We'll just get our GT online, let them have their vial. You want to port me? I will very gladly just put in my GTA. They might have like a Council's Judgment after. Now I'll fetch Plateau here. If they put in like a Mom. I suppose I could just fetch another Plains and just plow this Mother of Runes. Still gives us our red mana. Yeah, maybe that is the play. My mana base is a little bit flimsy here, certainly. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Now we have a Bolt if they have a Revoker. Yeah, I don't want that. If I fetch Plateau there and they have like a Wasteland to follow up, I don't want them to be able to like Wasteland port me out of equipping this GTA. Revoker's fine. You can answer to it. Casting the Revoker's a little bit suspect though. They might have a second Revoker. Or maybe they just have a Stoneforge Mystic and they'd rather get this because they need to get this one down right now. But it means that we're pretty likely to just be able to get GT counters here. We just bolt the Revoker here. If they don't have exactly second Revoker, we just get GT counters now. If this is Revoker, I don't care. If this is Thalia, we have the Mom. If this is Leonin Relic Warder at its worst, then we can just use the Mom to save our Stoneforge. Yeah, this is worst case. So now we just pro it, get on our 1 damage or whatever. So we don't lose our 1-2. And we still have the Abrade to try to get back, although they're getting into their Flicker Wisp vial turn. So we want to be a little bit cognizant of that. Got a plow for the Mom now. Yep. We find a land, there's potential. Do have to be worried about Wisp. Might just end up recruiting here. They have 2 cards in hand. We can't actually end up recruiting. Do I just beef into Wisp? If they have Wisp and save their Relic Warder, we could even potentially draw a 4th land and still equip the Stoneforge and trade with their Flicker Wisp. I think I have to kill this. Ah, fuck. was the biggest punish. But they had 2 cards left. I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. If we rip a land, like I said, we at least get to kill this wisp. On our way out here. We probably won't hit the land, though. Oh, we did. Nice. They can just trade with my wisp. Or trade with my Stoneforge. Then I think I'll just use the GJ counters to clear the, maybe I'll just gain 4 life. We have a lot of creatures in our hand. Wow, no blocks. That's super wrong. I think, at least. Now we'll just kill the wisp and gain 2 life. We have a lot of tools here. I feel like that block is just super correct. Unless they really thought I was just going to clear their Relic Order by getting rid of my GJ forever. I really don't want them to have, like, Wasteland and continue porting me, because we need to be able to cast our spells to stay in this game. Ah, fuck. Of course. It's possible I was supposed to fetch the 3rd planes? No, we're... Okay, they just didn't port me. Cool. I could recruiter like a Crater Maker, but we only have 1 red source and they have a port. We could just recruiter a lot of things. We could just wisp my Stoneforge and go get like a sort of Fire and Ice. That's probably not bad either. Well, I guess we could recruiter, get Crater Maker, and then Wasteland their port. Are you a Modern player now? I mean, not really. Depends on what context, I suppose. Apply the Wisp, which means we can't get our sword online next turn. Oh, the Nerd Rage thing? Yes, I suppose yes. In that case, I am a Modern player. So yeah, I want to Wasteland this port, because it lets us get our colored mana. I'll just play with the Recruiter. Go get, should we get P and K, Crater Maker? I don't think we'll just go get Crater Maker. Now that we have 2 red sources, harder for them to take us off that. I mean, we also just have the option of putting the sword and attacking with the Recruiter this turn here. Alright, this game's over. Yay. Alright, they have 2.5 minutes, we have 3.5 minutes. It's going to be very hard for them to win this game. We need to keep a very reactive hand to make sure they can't just, like, cheese me out early. Don't really think we're changing up anything. It worked out well. Our red spells looked very good. Although, I guess Abrade and Bull were both just, like, generic removal spells. They're better than Path, certainly. Wow, this hand's just gas. In. I'll Boltamom. Otherwise, we will just play our Aether Vial. This hand's gross. Yeah, I mean, this and our last hand were both just really gross. Would have put up a good fight for our last hand, but we just had a bunch more tools and found enough lands to utilize them. Forge? Mom, alright. We'll bolt the Mom. Let's see it go. Kapow. F6. I don't really care about bluffing a Mother of Runes on instep here. There's a Stoneforge, but we'll have Stoneforge for GTA and also a Revoker in case. Well, maybe we should get Sword, because if they have a land, they're guaranteed to be able to try to get their GTA online. So maybe we should just revoke. Revoke their GTA. And go get sort of Fire and Ice here. Because they're going to tap pretty low. Oh, wow. Alright. Sure. Let them cast the GTA first. Yeah, we gotta do this in response, because if they play a land, we get boned. So, GTA. Oh, they don't have a land. They might have a second plow, which we currently can't do anything about. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things don't look good right now. Might have to Sunbaked Canyon for a removal spell rather than developing our sort of Fire and Ice. That's a strong card. It might actually be able to do something here. We take the valve to 4. 2 GTA counters probably not. Whoa. Why on... Alright. They got me. Good, I guess. That seems like a wild play. Like, just hard playing around Flicker Wisp? Oh, never mind, we're good. By good, I mean, we're not great still. This GTA is still very bad for us. I get to clear our P and K. Okay, never mind. Fucking hot deal. They might have a 4th land, I don't know. Nope. They're just gonna let me hold up Thopter Throwing. Deal. Yeah, this game is over now that they didn't get this GTA Online this turn. They don't equip anyway. Yeah, my opponent is not even... They're just F6ing here. They just want to try to time me out now. I see. They're just trying to time me out before I kill them. I see their plan now. Luckily, they took my Vial off the board for me, which is nice. We're definitely just going to kill them, though. Hey, we did it. Got our pity points. Crushed the mirror, regardless of our game 1 fuck-ups. Red cards coming in very powerfully. P and K. Crater Maker came in at the end there, but P and K was pretty good at actually building a board state that could potentially try to beat a GTA connection that they just decided to not do that turn. But yeah. So today what the fuck did we play against today? We played Blue-Green Omni, and then we played Red-Black Rayamare, and then we played Elves, Tess, and then the Mirror. Is the Splash speed on the Fair decks? Yeah, the Splash is definitely big against Fair decks, and also some of the blue-based combo decks like Show and Tell and stuff. Pyroblast is very powerful against. And it's just a tool that that Mono White doesn't get. But yeah. So, like, the Red Splash either looked good or doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't... The Red Splash is Probably worse against red-black just because you get more sideboard tools that are okay versus red-black Reanimator. First test, it's kind of a wash. It's mostly just how you build your sideboard that beats tests. We have like 5 graveyard hate cards instead, which is not ideal to beat tests, obviously. And then elves is just a shit show. You get maybe slightly an extra bonus point or so for playing the red splash because you get a couple better tools, but like not meaningfully. What because did you make to fit red? So obviously the mana base you really have to gank to play red cards. So you lose mana base consistency, which is the biggest thing in like wasteland matchups, especially Delver. Your mana base can definitely be under attack a lot more often. And then other than that, you just kind of you shave some of the flex cards for just red flex cards instead. We're playing 3 wisps. We shaved a revoker. There's generally 3 in the deck. And there's like there's no jailer, and I don't know, there's probably some random extra card you play. But that makes room for the red in the main. And then the sideboard is where most of your red comes in, and we just like swapped out a lot of our blue hate like Cataclysms and Council's Judgments because Pyroblast is really good against most of the stuff your Council's Judgmenting. Jailer's White Chase, how could you? P&K is just stone cold better than Chase against control decks right now. Like, unironically, I would rather be casting P and Karan against the control decks. Play some Astrolabes and Urodin, you can predict it with Crocus. That's some next level shit right there. At one point in my life, I wanted to build meme Death and Taxes with Astrolabes and Okos, and you could probably play Uro in that deck now, right? Maybe one day I'll brew that shit pile up. But yeah, we played against meme D&T. I thought D&T was already a meme. Fair points. But yeah, like I say every day to justify my horrible 2-3s, we played against a bunch of matchups for Power or where the red splash was good. We played against Blue Green Omni and the Mirror, which red splash is just genuinely more powerful. And then we played a bunch of matchups that is just kind of a wash. We don't really get super punished by playing red cards, like red-black Reanimator or tests and stuff. But I don't know. We keep like doing very badly, but we also like lost 5 down rolls and played and got like turn 1 to bunch. So I don't know how meaningfully that is like a tick on the needle. No Tomic. Tomic has not been very playable since Ren and 6 died. Tomic was only super good because in Ren and 6 meta, the best decks were like Depths and the Ren and 6 decks, and Tomic looked good against both of those. Now Tomic looks bad against like everything. Anyway, that's gonna be it for our stream today. Gonna pick up a host here. So the next card to get banned in Legacy. I don't know. I hope Oko. P&K. Anyway, let's go host Ori Tart, my good friend Elaine, who is streaming some Legacy right now, and is looks like getting bodied by Maverick, which is amusing for a multitude of reasons. But anyway, go give her some love. She just started streaming this week because the quarantine, so gotta support the growing Legacy community. Anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy Animal Crossing if that's on your to-do list, or Doom, whatever the Doom game that was coming out the same day as Animal Crossing. I know I will be playing a ton of it this weekend, and I'll see you guys all on Monday. Doom Eternal, yeah, that's the one.